Started Shen and Zed, episode 46 by Targran. Okay, let's go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Lore of League of Legends.
Yeah.
As usual, I'm Targran, and I'm here to talk to you about a pair of champions that have been requested multiple times by yourselves. Originally, when this video was made, Shen was paired with Akali, but due to the release of Zed, Shen's lore was changed slightly. So to appease to you...
So it's not new for them to change lore when somebody's released. I guess it's really important to have Shen with somebody in his lore. He can't just be Shen standalone. But okay, alright, let's go.
You all, I've decided to cover the 4 ninjas of Ionia over 2 episodes, starting with Shen, the Eye of Twilight,
and then Akali and Kennen,
Zed,
I guess.
the Master of Shadows. Enjoy.
Let's go. Oh! The champion select lock. I love it.
The Kinku Order is an ancient clan that originates from Ionia. The Order and its members are dedicated to keeping everything in perfect balance, as everything must exist in harmony.
Okay.
That is the way of the universe.
Bullshit.
The Order is a group of highly disciplined, selfless individuals.
Clearly delusional, drugged out of their mind people. What do you mean, the way of the universe is bullshit?
As their greatest goal prevents them from pursuing their own interests or personal rewards. They're completely committed to the preservation of balance, no matter what.
Why does this symbol remind me of Irelia rather than Shen or Zed?
What the cost might be. While many don't realize it, the Kinku Order has been known to perform questionable acts because of the greater good. While the Order's roots originate from Ionia, its ranks do not exclude members from other nations.
Okay.
Their choice of students is based around skills and mental predispositions to fulfill the Order's missions.
Because they're not racist.
As long as they could entirely commit themselves, that person could join the Order's ranks. While many members of the Kinku Order prefer to work from the shadow,
it's like monks, just for ninjas, I guess.
Doing what is necessary yet not entirely acceptable, serving as spies or elite assassins. There is also another face of the Order, the Triumvirate, consisting of 3 shadow warriors that are entrusted with holding all of the Order's causes in the world.
Okay.
They are usually well known amongst the people of Valoran as renowned heroes. Each member of the Triumvirate is entrusted with a sacred duty that they have to fulfill. Number 1, watching the stars. Exercising judgment whilst untainted by prejudice. The
Watching
duty
the
of the Eye of
stars.
Twilight.
Okay.
Number 2, coursing the sun. Tirelessly conveying the justice of the Kinku Order. Trusted to the heart of the tempest.
Alright.
And number 3, pruning the tree. Eliminating those who threaten the equilibrium of Valoran.
Okay, watching the stars, something the sun, traversing the sun or something, and then pruning the trees. Okay, interesting.
The duty of the Fist of Shadows. Currently, the Triumvirate consists of 3 extraordinary heroes and champions of the League. The first of whom is Shen, the Eye of Twilight.
Okay.
Shen was born into a clan that has been closely tied to the Kinku Order since the first days of its existence.
The funniest thing about Shen, he's so not ninja that it's crazy. Like, if you think about, like, his abilities, it's like ninja's supposed to be in the darkness, like, you know, hidden, spies, all that stuff. This guy just like, well, we can draw him out by attacking anyone and he'll just, like, teleport to them. It's like, okay.
His ancestors have decorated the ranks of the Order for centuries, and so Shen was trained to follow in their footsteps. His only goal in life has been to take the position within the Order as the Eye of Twilight, and carry the burden of deciding what must be done in order to preserve the harmony of the universe. His training was long and hard, but yet it could not be compared to his final trial, the ceremony of Takanu. It was a ceremony where the elders of the Kinku Order could determine whether Shen could become the next Eye of Twilight as his ancestors before him, and whether he could completely ignore the actions that his decisions may cause. Shen's father was to be tortured before his own son, in order to test the resolve of Shen. If he did anything to stop the torture or make a move to help his father, or even say a word, he would be cast out from its ranks and years of training would be wasted.
It's like, what if his father was like a drunk who beat him and shit? And he's like, bro, You do you, man. All good. Obviously
Shen
not
did
the
not
case.
consider this an option. He never looked away, he didn't blink once, he simply stood there and watched as his father
Jesus
suffered before
Christ.
him. An Eye of Twilight cannot be encumbered by human emotions or feelings, as there's no place for details in deciding what is right for Valoran.
That's next level fucking brainwashing. That's crazy. It's like, oh, torture my father just to test me. Like, did his father even do anything that he deserved to be tortured? Or he's like, it's just part of the test. Like, listen, you sent your child here, we told you what's gonna happen in 15 years time. When your son needs to go through the test, we're gonna have to torture you just for the sake of the test. It's like, yeah, that's how it is.
These same principles apply to every field of battle that Shen fights, even in the fields of justice, where the triumvirate has ultimately been led by its pursuit of justice.
Okay.
The Eye of Twilight does not see the despair of its victims, only the beauty of equilibrium. This idea of harmony and equilibrium does not apply to every single person on Ionia, though.
Makes
It'd be a
sense.
perfect place to live if that wasn't the case. But such places don't exist. Even in the brightest of places, there is a shadow to be found. Even so on Ionia.
Said.
Amongst those seeking enlightenment there are those who step into the path of darkness. Zed is one such Ionian. He'd been orphaned at a young age and would have probably ended up adopted by a family of farmers if not for the Grandmaster Ninja of the Kinku Order, who had seen some potential in the boy. Zed had repaid the master by completely devoting himself to his training and spent every bit of his free time training to be better.
Okay.
He's learnt the words of his trainers by heart, being able to recite them with no moment of hesitation. Only one student has managed to remain equal with Zed, the master's own firstborn son, Shen. Zed knew that he was only an orphan and his rival was meant to be the next leader of the Kinku, but yet he felt jealous. He could never win over the favour of the Grandmaster, no matter how hard he tried, or how much heart he put into his performance. The confrontations between Shen and Zed always ended up with a draw. Frustrated by his constant failures to best his rival, Zed would do anything to gain advantage and finally become the best, surpassing Shen. It was not easy, as Shen had been grinded with training ever since he was born. His mind was focused on his destiny of bringing the Order into a bright future. Zed knew he would need to find something special and unique in order to win a confrontation. He searched everywhere, read every book in the library and performed every exercise he knew. Yet all this did little to help him. Desperate and angry, Zed found his way into the forbidden section of the clan temple and inside found an ornate box, emanating a threatening aura of dark forbidden knowledge. He knew he shouldn't open it, but he was drawn to the box. He just wanted to take a peek, which was all that was needed for the shadows inside to affect the young ninja's mind. They opened his mind to techniques that should have been banished and long forgotten by the Kinku. And armed with this new knowledge, he found Shen and challenged him to another duel.
See, I don't like that where it's like this whole forbidden knowledge isn't like knowledge is the weapon rather than like the person using that knowledge is the weapon. This is like a common thread in a lot of mangas as well, where it's like, you know, you find the scroll but it's like it was forbidden to learn it or whatever, and then it's like, bro, why is it forbidden? It makes you stronger. It's like, well, it corrupts the mind. Then the mind is weak. Train the fucking mind.
This time he had the advantage over his opponent. It was still a long fight, but nonetheless, Zed managed to defeat the Master's son.
Okay.
He expected the praise and glory that was worthy of a winner, but instead was banished from the temple when the Grand Master recognized techniques that had been used during the combat.
But how does he recognize if they're forbidden? How would he know them if they're forbidden?
The young ninja had been humiliated
because
and
he's the
wandered
master.
for years looking for purpose. As time passed, the shadows within him had slowly been waking up, forging Zed's pain and sadness into ambition. Zed began to gather his own students, teaching them the forbidden techniques of the shadows. He gained followers from all across the island, but knew his school would never be perfect without the box that he left at the temple. the source of his power. He decided to strike at the temple, leading his followers towards the gates, where he found his old master waiting, who then proceeded to admit his failure to Zed as his master.
I still kind of find it weird that's like Zed. Okay, so like, you were an orphan. You were saved by this guy, like his master, right? You were trained martial arts so you can take care of yourself. But it's like, but I want to be the inheritor. I want to be the one who succeeds the master instead of his son. Like, bro, you got enough, man. Like, settle down. Calm down, man. Just, you know, just enjoy what you got. Shit.
Banishing Zed and pushing him towards the shadows, instead of doing everything he could to help him.
He killed his
the old
master.
master promised to lead both Zed and his followers back to the way of balance, and all Zed had to do was destroy the chest where the secrets of the shadows had been hidden.
Did he kill the master instead?
While it was the master's plan to lead the students of Shadow into the temple and murder them, Zed was no fool and had devised a plan of his own. When he'd been stabbed supposedly to kill him, he rushed forward to attack the master. Surprisingly, Zed was the one who survived. He emerged unscathed, throwing the severed head of his old master at Shen's feet. He ordered his followers to cleanse the temple while Zed made his way to the ornate box that he'd accidentally discovered so many years ago. He seized it and caused the fall of the old Kinku order. Many students died that day, yet many were saved due to Shen's heroic efforts to protect them. The old temple of the Kinku has now been claimed by the Order of the Shadow, where Zed now rules as the master. His goal is simple: to kill all ninjas who refuse to embrace the will of the Shadow.
Oh my god, bro, like so fucking edgy. Why? As long as they don't resist the shadow. Like, it's not like they have to learn the shadow. What if I want to learn a different technique? You learned a different technique. Don't be such a douchebag. Holy fuck, man.
Zed's rivalry with Shen
Why am I
had been
annoyed by
reborn
this?
once again. This time, on a more serious ground. This time, they were both at the peak of their powers, and only time will show who is the better ninja.
It's literally like, it's a Jedi story, you know? It's like, the good Jedis had something of the dark side hidden in their temple that they couldn't destroy for some reason, because only someone from the dark side could destroy it, let's say, right? And then, you know, and then someone from the Jedis saw that box, got influenced by it, turned into the dark side, became Darth Vader, and killed everyone. You either join the dark side or you die, basically. God, solid sneezing. Oh my god, my soul just left my body. Alright, that's Shen and Zed. Part 46. We'll go on to the next one. I think it's a Kalian cannon, probably.